Hey guys, so today I wanted to do a review of my deck, which is called Hollywood Tarot, and this is a deck, so you guys see it on the screen. I have another, I have my phone here filming. So yeah, I'm really excited. It's my first deck. I've been working on several decks at the same time, and this is the first one that came in. Yeah, so like really nice. I really like it. The printing and quality of the cards is very great. So I'm totally excited about it. And so the idea for this deck came to me just suddenly. I live in LA. I live in West Hollywood. And I enjoy tarot. I love tarot. That's the channel, right? So one day I'm like, well, I think it will be a great idea to do Hollywood themed tarot, and that's how it came to be, and that's how I created it, and here we are. So I'm doing my own review. The way I see the cards, the way I see the deck, the way I see the pictures. But again, tarot is very personal, so however you read it, you can read it in your own way. So this is just my vision, right? Your vision can be completely different, and our vision usually comes from experience. Our vision usually comes from the things that we've been through, right? So our ideas, whatever we were exposed to. So it can be different for everyone, and of course it will be different for me and will be different for you. So however you see it, however you read it, welcome. You can do whatever you want. I'm just gonna give you like a basic idea why I chose certain images, right? Why I like certain images for certain cards. But again, you can do whatever you want with it. So have fun, enjoy. I hope you like it, and we're gonna start. So I have my phone filming here, and then I have filming here, so hopefully I can figure it out. That's my first time doing it, so so yeah, let's start. So this is a journey, this is a Hollywood journey, right? So every single tarot deck is a journey, hero's journey, right? So the hero is going through certain transformations, through a certain journey in order to get somewhere else. So for me, the way I see Hollywood is, a lot of people come here to become famous, right? To be a movie star, to be like a famous musician. So this kind of vibe is, going on in the city, and you can see it everywhere. And that's why it's not only about movies, right? But it's also about the city itself. So it's Hollywood, it's West Hollywood, a city of LA, right? Studios, even Santa Monica. Santa Monica is very popular. So going a little bit of touristy places, that's how people see Hollywood, right? When they come. A little bit what internal things that I experience here, and I'm gonna share it in this video, the way I see this city, right? And this whole journey of becoming, famous, or becoming a movie star, or becoming something, right? This transformation, that's what I wanted to show in this deck. So basically, I came to the city a long time ago. It's been a while. It's been 15 years I've been living in. Most people, I mean, not most, but a lot of people come here because they wanna achieve something, like, right? They want to be in the movie business, they want to be in the music business. I came here, I don't know, just whatever. I wanted to go to Disneyland, and then stuff happened, and then here I am. So for me, it wasn't, it wasn't this, become famous journey, right? So it was a little bit different perception, but I can see like those people that come and they work as a, waitress or a bartender, right? And they going through those things and going through those struggles. It's a certain journey that they go through, and it's all over us, right? Especially in LA, like you meet so many wanna be famous, right? Or actually famous people. Like I've met so many people from like different TV series, right? Like I watch one TV series and then like, oh yeah, I know this guy. So that's why I like LA, because I see all kinds of people, a lot of them want to be famous and want to be in Hollywood. Some of them don't, like me, right? So I'm like, well, whatever. Yeah, I guess I like movies, yeah, of course, but yeah, it wasn't my priority when I came here. But I wanted to show you this video. I wanted to show you my vibe of Hollywood, and that's where we're gonna start. So let's start with the cards. So card, I think I'm gonna keep the deck here so I don't distract you guys. So let's start with Fool. And what I want you guys to do is not only to look at me when I'm talking, right, but also look at the picture and see. And that's why I do most of my videos when I read the cards. I do only, you know, cards, because I don't want you to be distracted by me talking. I want you to look at the cards and see what you see, what kind of images you see, what kind of thoughts come to your mind, what kind of you know, feelings come to your mind, what it reminds you of according to your situation. So all of these things we need to experience, and I want you to look at the pictures, and I want you to see your journey, see how it applies to your life, right? So sometimes I see a lot of videos where people are talking, but then you get distracted by a person talking and you don't really connect with card. I want you to guys connect with the card and see what you feel when you look at the card, what comes to your mind when you look at the card. So that is why I do readings only cards, and my hands here, you know, waving because it's about cards, it's about you, it's about your journey, it's not about me. But I decided to do this video in case, you know, people get easily bored nowadays. So if I do it with you know, me talking, then that's it is. We'll see. Maybe I'll do it without me talking, and I mean, I'm talking but without my picture, right? So we'll see about that. Okay, so let's start with 0. And 0 is a beginning in our journey, right? And you see this girl, she's standing, like, she's plainly dressed, right? And she's standing in front of Hollywood sign, you know, the famous one. You know, I always wondered why you don't see it at night. Like at night, it's not, you know, there's no light to show it. It would be nice. I'm not sure why they don't do it. I'm still like 15 years later, I'm still baffled about that. So here she is. She's probably, you know, aspiring actress, or she's probably, you know, aspiring musician, or she wanna achieve something in Hollywood, right? So she's standing here at the beginning of her journey, looking at Hollywood sign and imagining all these actors that, you know, came with nothing and then they became famous, right? Or imagining all these musicians that came with nothing, just a talent and a guitar in the end, right? And then eventually they went through this journey, through this transformation, and they became famous. So I see this girl looking at it, and she's you know, she's like a fool. It's a new beginning. She's excited for the journey ahead, because when we come, you know, when people come to Hollywood, they're excited. They're like, oh, you know, I'm gonna conquer, I'm gonna be famous. Remember, a lot of stuff happens, and eventually this feeling may or may not wear off, right? But at the beginning, that's what it is. This like, ah, wow. So here we are, right here, the Hollywood I've been seeing on TV and hearing about it and reading in newspapers, right, or magazines or online. Do people still read magazines? Yeah. So yeah, that kind of feeling, that's what I imagined when I did this card. And she's like, well, you know, here it is. That's the beginning of my journey. Here's the Hollywood sign. That's how it starts. Okay, so I think I'm gonna keep piling up, right? And then it goes Magician. So Magician is a card, and you can see this lady, and she's like a literal magician. So you can think like Magic Castle, right? So it's right in the Hollywood, where there's a lot of magic going on, a lot of different magicians showing off their skills. You can see like cards moving. So basically she She has the power to make those dreams come true. She has the power, she has talent, she has anything that she needs to have in order for this journey to be successful, right? So this card, the Magician, always shows us that, you know, whatever you start, you have the tools in order to succeed. You have the tools to go further, right? So this kind of Magician is a very powerful card. And, you know, the basic description, entire way description, right? They have all the tools, like all the things together. This one doesn't have it, but I wanted to show you that there's still power. She has the power over cards or over whatever it is that she's trying to achieve, right? And she has this potential to be something. Okay, so let's do the next one. Why is the King of Wands here? Oh, I'm starting from the other side. Okay, here, I'm gonna put this here, I'm gonna put this here. High Priestess. So, LA is a very interesting city, and again, that's my interpretation of the city, and everyone sees it differently. But we have a lot of spiritual people, and myself included. So there's a lot of interesting and secret societies going on, right? There's a lot of things behind the curtain, right? And the High Priestess is about the secretive societies. It's about this secretive power that people have, right? And as you can see, like this lady, she's wearing a hood. And she reads a book, but the book is on fire, right? So she has power over that fire. She has certain knowledge from that book. And you can see like those letters. I'm not sure what they mean. So you can see the letters on her and they're shining, right? So you can see that she has this inner power, inner desire, certain wisdom in her, right, to make this journey happen, right, to go through this journey. So I really like this card. She's like really cool. But at the same time, you see like so my decks, not all of them, but I usually work on I don't work on very light decks because light decks are very positive, and for me it's a bit one-sided because there's we always need that balance in order to balance our feelings, in order to balance our emotion, because we're not only made of only positive things, right? We're also made out of, you know, we have negative emotions, we have certain desires, right, that we cannot accept. So there's things that are going on inside of us that are not as pretty as we think, right? And I do shadow work as well. So that's about it. So this lady, she looks very powerful. She looks very like she knows what she's doing, but at the same time you can see like you know. So if you read this card in reverse, you can look at her shadows, right? Why is she crying? Because she knows too much, right? Sometimes knowing too much and knowing all the wisdom in the world and seeing it the way it is, right? It can be art for us and it can be eye-opening, or maybe the wisdom stops her from doing something, right? So in reverse, this card can be read in a different way. So you guys see this kind of thing. If you read it in reverse, it can be read as, you know, too much knowledge, right? Or it's too much burden for her to know all of this information. Okay, the Empress. Ooh, the movie star. So, of course, this deck is about movies. And look at this lady. So, basically, I think this, this camera is like older one. So, I wanted to do this deck in different eras, right? So different Hollywood times where it's represented. So I think it's a little bit older, right? Because there's camcorder here. It's so weird to say camcorder because I'm literally filming on 2 phones right now. So the camcorder, and this lady is getting in the car and she's posing and she's like, well, I'm a movie star, right? Oh wow. She knows, and she, as you can see, she knows her pose, she knows the way she's supposed to look, right? She knows her working side, right? She has like a beautiful makeup, she's wearing glasses to look cooler. So basically the Empress, I mean, usually in certain decks is nurturing, is childbearing, right? That kind of thing. Here is more like, you know, strong feminine power. It's on the stronger side. So it's not too feminine. She is feminine, right? But at the same time, she knows what she wants. She holds her ground. So she's very present. She's very stable. And I think she represents the Empress in this deck, and that's why I liked it. Now let's look at another one, Emperor. So as you can see on this card, so this guy, right, he's looking like James Bondy for me, and he's in one hand he's holding a gun, and in another hand he's holding a lady, and he's like, I can do both at the same time. I'm gonna impress her, I'm gonna, you know, kill my whoever is trying to what, they trying to kill him or something, I don't know. So for me, this card represents Emperor and like has this James Bond vibe, where the guy is in control of the situation. He's in control of his environment. He knows what he's doing. He is very confident. He's very charming, right? So he is in control of all his masculine power that he has inside, and he's like, oh, I'm cool, right? So that's why I chose this guy and with this lady, because he represents this Hollywood macho kind of guy, right, that can do so many things. Like, you watch those action movies and they never die after like terrible car crashes, not even a scratch, right? So that kind of guy. Or after certain things, like there's so many shootings and like, sure, they do like semi-automatic, and of course not even one bullet, you know, goes into the main guy, right? So he represents this, you know, male power that Emperor usually gives us. Okay, let's go to the next one. Hierophant. Okay, and that's an interesting one. So this one for me, it's like a scene from maybe a movie or something. So basically this guy is a priest, and here is a dead guy, right? Not so good. So Hierophant is usually about religion, about certain spirituality, right? Certain about power. But this card is more on the shadow side, where it kind of exposes, you know, those, it's like a certain Hollywood representation of, you know, bad priests, right? Or bad stories about religion or how religious people behave, right? So technically, probably, you know, the priest, I don't know what happened here, but he doesn't really care about the dead body. He's just praying and going about his own stuff, right? So I'm not sure what happened. We can think like maybe he was killed or by this guy, maybe, I don't know, or maybe somebody else, but you know, it's, you know, here the guy's dead and they go all around about their business. So this is a more like a shadowy reading for this card, but you can decide what you want to do with it, right? So again, this is your interpretation. This is just my vision. So like I saw it, and again, I mostly work with shadow decks, and I like to see different sides of the story. So it's not like your usual Hierophant, but it's an interesting one. Okay, let's see. Oh, the Lovers. So this is so I'm not good with periods of time. So is it like 50s, 60s, right? Where you see this old style guy and this really nice hair gal, right? And they're like all, you know, lovey-dovey. And I really liked it because it kind of represented the older era of movies, right? Where I guess when they just became with color and they became more like open towards the relationships, right? So that kind of thing. So I really like that couple and look very cute together. Oh, Chariot. So Chariot, so if you guys been to Hollywood, this is a Hollywood Boulevard. So this is Hard Rock Cafe. There are a bunch of So there's a lot of crowds, people walking. There's a bunch of entertainers, and they entertain like they wear different costumes, take pictures with you. There's a mall on this side, right, and a Hard Rock Cafe, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Lots of shops, lots of souvenir shops, and I really like that, old style car that you see in movies. I know some people like in LA, like if you see restored cars, right? If you, my goodness, how you call them? So basically old style car. Yeah, so those are restored, probably very expensive, but pretty cool, right? So the Chariot, again, you guys know the meaning is going somewhere, is a journey, as moving forward, right? So whatever it is for you that you see and represent here, that's what it is. But I really like, because it gives like a Hollywood Boulevard vibe, at the same time this kind of old school vibe. So that's why I picked this picture. Okay, strength. Strength is an interesting one, and took me a while to find the image for this card and something that would fit. So I was thinking something where the person, doing their craft and, maybe preparing for movies and learning the scripts and practicing, right, and going to maybe film school, but that's kind of hard to translate to the picture. Like dedication, right? So for me, strength in Hollywood is dedication and keep going no matter what, because people that are here, they go to interviews, they go to screenings, and like there's rejection after rejection after rejection. I've talked to a few actresses and they're like, I don't know why I'm doing it to myself. I love it so much, I love the art, but I hate this whole concept where you go to interviews, screenings, gosh, I forgot the word today. I don't know what's going on with me. Brain fog, I have a condition. So okay, my kid, you want something? What do you want? Why are you crying? You want to go? The door is closed? Oh, okay, just guys, give me a second.
One eternity later.
Gosh, finally. Auditions, yay! Yeah, brain fog is a real thing. I realized it. So basically they go to auditions, right, and it's rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection, and it's really hard. It's mentally hard, it's physically hard. At the beginning you don't make that much money, that's why you have to do different jobs, right? So I mean, movie business is really tough. So for me, this lady, why ballet, right, is because in ballet it takes a lot of dedication. It looks easy for us, movies like, movie stars becoming stars, it looks easy, like, oh, they got lucky, right, or whatever. The same with ballet. I remember first time I watched and I'm like, okay, so they tiptoeing, they kind of, moving hands up here, down here, right? So looks kind of easy. Here a jump here or there. So it doesn't look that hard. But I took a few ballet classes, the beginning ones, and gosh, that was hard. I mean, I don't know how they do it, and they're doing it hours and hours of practice every single day. Because, I mean, every single muscle of your body has to be engaged. You have to keep your core. You have, like, there's so many things that's going on. It's like, it's very, very tough. And it's very, very tough to keep going, right? Because it's really, it's tough. Like, you gotta practice every single day. You cannot stop. You cannot give up. Because if you give up, that you lose all your strength. You lose all your skills, right? So the same with movies. Like, if you wanna get somewhere, you need to keep going. You need to work on your feelings of your rejections, right? You need to do no matter what it takes in order to become successful. And it takes a lot of inner strength. So basically Hollywood is like checking your dreams. You're like, do you really want it? It's gonna check you along the way, but this strength, this kind of strength, You need to have it inside in order to move forward, in order to get somewhere, right? So that's, for me, that's a pure representation of trend. It looks easy, but inside it's really, really hard, and it's a lot of work. Now let's see. Next, oh my gosh, oh, hermit. Okay, so yes, so lots of, maybe I should move this right here. Anyway, I put it here. Hermit is an interesting card, right? So it's time to think about things and think about life and think about your journey. Time to retract. Time to maybe meditate, right? Looking at the ocean. So Hermit is a really very peaceful card, a very quiet card, and we all need that as a part of our journey. So basically you came, you started doing a few things, maybe it did work out, maybe it didn't work out, right? So you need to take time to readjust and see what's working, what's not working, think about what you need to change, right? So a lot of people love surfing in LA, and there's a lot of surfers, right? Because we have really good waves, not good for swimming. I wish there are a few beaches here that you can really go and swim. Because every time we go, we're like, okay, I'm just holding my bikini like this. I'm like, oh, just a pool. I don't like waves. I just like, peaceful swimming. So, and the water is really cold. I don't know how they do it during winter time. Like freezingly cold, even with the the suit and everything. Like, I don't know, I don't think I could do it. So here this guy, he's looking at the ocean, he's meditating, he's having his surfboard on his head, and he's taking time to reflect, to see what's going on. And yeah, I feel like it's very LA vibe, because people love surfing here, and half of the people I meet, they either try surfing or they surf all the time, right? So especially in Malibu or Santa Monica, actually pretty much anywhere by the beach, right? So if you come to LA, you will see surfers any part of the year, anytime. So it's actually pretty fun. So that's why I like this card, and it's like, I think it reflects the whole LA mood thing. Okay, again, King of Wands. I'm not taking from the right side. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. So have you guys been to LA? So guess where it is, right? I think if you've been to LA, probably you know the place. So this is Santa Monica, and there are a few attractions over there in the Santa Monica Pier. Very popular. Most people, when they visit LA, they go to Hollywood Boulevard, of course, the stars, and then they go to Santa Monica. Santa Monica is very cute. There's a lot of places to see, to walk around. It's very nice. So it's like you see, she's wearing a LA. I'm not sure what she's doing with her fingers. I'm not that cool, so I don't know all the signs. I'm still struggling with abbreviations and texting and emojis. I'm not there yet. So yeah, I hope it's something good. I hope, I really picked it because I really like the view of the wheel, right? The Wheel of Fortune here. So that's why I picked this card. So Wheel of Fortune, wherever it takes you, right? So the Wheel of Fortune, it can be it's a very neutral card. So it can be something good, the wheel will turn and something good will happen. It can be something negative in your own perspective, right? So the wheel will turn and it ends on something not so good for you. But this is something that you can control. But if you come to Santa Monica, what you can control is you can go in it and see the view, especially at night. It's very beautiful. So this is like an evening picture. So that's Santa Monica for you guys. Okay, the kitty's coming back. The door is closed again because we have too many cats here. And they run around and they distract me from cards. So we'll see. She's gonna cry again. I'm gonna get up and let her in. Okay, Justice. Yes, here she is. Okay, I'm gonna...
A few moments later.
Okay, so let's take a look at Justice. And Justice, this is, for me, We demand justice and change. So social justice. We have a lot of Sunny, why are you crying? Go lay down. She wants I know you want attention, but I'm doing something. So social justice. We have a lot of protests, a lot of movements. It's usually Hollywood Boulevard, Santa Monica Boulevard, or Melrose that gets all the action, and that's where people come and they unite for certain social cause, right? So this is from Hollywood Boulevard, and this is the sign. And for me, social, usually the justice card is more about judicial justice, right? But I think the social justice is more important, and that's what this Hollywood is about, right? It's about sharing your own opinions. It's about protesting something that you don't like. It's about uniting, right? And for a certain social cause. So that's why I picked this card, because I feel like it gives this Hollywood vibe, where like regular people come out and regular people express their frustration and express something that they don't like in order to change it, and they actually affect the change. So I really like this card, and I think it's like very powerful. She just kept staring at me. Sonia, why are you staring at me? She wants me to do cuddly. Okay, no, once. No. I'm taking from the other side. I don't want to put it here because it's gonna distract you. So maybe I just, yeah, it's okay. Okay, the Hangman. So this looks like Santa Monica. And in Santa Monica, there's there's a beach, and there's a certain thing, and there's certain like exercising area where people do really cool stuff. So if you walk, especially during summer, if you walk on the path, or you're biking on the path, right, in Santa Monica, probably to Venice Beach or so on the other way, you will see like people, hanging and doing like some really cool upside down flips and all of that kind of things, and I'm like, whoa, lots of muscle, a lot of naked bodies. So definitely recommend. Really good view, what I can say. I mean, the ocean is very good view, but if you look other way, I mean, it's even better. So like a lot of fit people, because people here like love to exercise, they run, they do push-ups, they like, it's a very fun thing. So that's Santa Monica for you. Sunny, come. If you want to come here. You want to come? Why are you crying? Come, you can sit here if you want. Yeah, so that's Santa Monica for you. So Hangman is usually showed that, upside down person, right? And they usually, only one leg is engaged, and then the card means that yes, it's kind of, here, not there. It's kind of, you got stuck a little bit, right? But at the same time, you have the power to get unstuck. So here she has the power to like, roll down and be unstuck, right? So Hangman card a lot of times shows as, you have the power to change the situation, even if you get stuck, if you change what you're doing. And she wants to go out again. Sunny, what do you want? Okay, let me show her to you, because apparently she needs attention. You want to be on camera? Come, then I'll let you go. If you want to go, if you're not going to come back and cry again. Okay, this is Sunny. And she got stuck. She's an old kitty. She loves attention. Yes, Sunny? Yeah? You want to go? Okay, go. Yes, too much. Sometimes petting too much, like, no, she doesn't like it. She likes it in her own way. Okay, we'll see. Maybe she'll calm down. Okay, let's do the next card. Ooh, Death. A scary one. People usually don't like it. People get really scared when they see this card. But this card, a lot of times, and it's rarely shown like physical death. Most of the time it's showing transformation. And transformation is a good thing, right? Because unless we change something, unless something goes away, nothing new and good is coming in our life, right? So something else needs to go away in order for something else to come in your life. And usually like something negative, bad is going away, right? Like all negative habits. And then something good comes into your life, like better habits where you change your life completely, right? So death is about transformation, is about something that dying off in your life in order for something better to come to your life, in order to change your life completely. Because we cannot, the transformation journey, and you know, especially major arcanas in tarot, it's a transformation journey, is getting from 1.0, right, to a different point of being a hero, right? When you get to the world, your world completely changed, you're becoming a different person. So this journey doesn't happen without some changes, without giving up something that is not working in order for it to change. Because if you're not giving up anything, eventually, I mean, it's not a negative thinking, it's just something gotta go, because in order to change, something has to change, right? I'm not sure if you understand what I mean, but so this card, you see, the girl, right? She's giving up this old face, right? Probably like old mask or something that she was wearing. And then you can see her actual face. So she's taking it off, she's giving it up, right? But you see that her face is also kind of scarred, maybe a little bit, right? It looks kind of weird and looks kind of, you know, affected in some way. So the death shows us that, no, we're giving up something old that we don't need anymore. But at the same time, we're not becoming brand new, right? We still have that experience that we experienced before. So this is kind of puts an imprint in us, puts an imprint of what we've been through, and we learn from our experience, and we're becoming a different person through that experience. So like this shows me that her changed face, right? Her face that maybe has scars on it, is that transformation experience where you've been through things, you lost a few things, right? And at the end, yes, you become a different person, yes, you become a new person, but at the same time, you still have your past experience with you, and it's changed you, and it's affecting your life in any way, if you let it affect it, right? Yeah. So this is a card. I'm actually gonna cry it. So this is a card for me, and that's why I really liked it, and that's why I picked it, because it shows the journey, like giving up the old mask, right? The giving up the old face and becoming something new, but at the same time, it's still you, but it's changed you, and it's, you know, there are battle scars that, you know, it can be visible or invisible, right? That affecting your journey. Okay, I think it's gonna be a long video because I keep talking a lot. So guys, I'll put the you know, time codes for each card. So if you want to skip to a certain card, that's definitely gonna be okay. So let's see, the Temperance. Okay, she wants to go out. I'm gonna let her go out, and then I'm not gonna let you in, Sunny, again, because you keep crying.
5 minutes later.
So usually it's our cuddly time, and that's why she's cranky, because I was supposed to be, you know, sitting with her cuddling, and here I am talking to the camera. So she's like, I don't know, should I sit or should I go? Should I sit or should I go? Yes. So Temperance. So she needs a little bit of temperance in her life. A little bit of calmness, a little bit of balance, right? No balance today for her. So Temperance, and I know picking alcohol for Temperance is kind of, you know, ironic, but I like this card because usually it shows, like, you know, water moving in certain ways, right? Like, especially like traditional tarot. Here she's making a cocktail, and she makes certain precise portions, right, where she uses Temperance in order to make the drink, to make it more balanced, right? So there are certain precise motions and portions that she uses. The same applies to your life. So you need certain things and certain portions of each thing in your life in order to be balanced, in order to balance it out, right? Especially after death, when something changes, it takes time to reflect. It takes time to get back from that sadness that you experienced when you lost certain things in your life, right? Or certain emotions, or you experience certain grief in your life, right? So it can be physical, if you lost certain things or it can be emotional, right? It's a grief that you know you're a different person right now, maybe not in you know, it can be complicated because changes are hard for our subconscious and for our mind. So yes, so the Temperance shows you that you need to balance your emotions, your feelings. And also for me, why I picked the bartender is because, you know, a lot of people come to Hollywood, right? And they're like, okay, I'm gonna arrive, I'm gonna rent an apartment with my saved money, right? I have like enough for 2 months, right? Or maybe 1 month. And then in those 2 months, I'm gonna become a star and that's it, and all my problems solved, right? But most of the time, that's not the case. Most of the time, when people arrive, they realize the competition is crazy here. Getting the role is really, really hard. You just go into auditions over and over and over, and you rarely get picked. And if you get picked, it's probably it doesn't pay that much, especially at the beginning if you're nobody and they don't know you, unless you get like super lucky. I don't know much about the industry, but I've talked again to a few people that that was their experience. So the Temperance is about making it work, right? Sticking to it anyway and finding a different job, maybe as a bartender. That's why you'll see a lot of very dedicated, very beautiful people as bartender, because most of the time if you ask them, they are aspiring actors or aspiring musicians, right? So that's their side job because they need to survive, they need to live off something, right? They need to, and living in LA ain't cheap, like it's very expensive, like that's why people have roommates, that's why like it's like the living itself, the housing is super expensive on top of everything else. So yeah, so the Temperance for me is also here because, you know, she wants to be an actress, yes, she has all those dreams, but at the same time it's more like you know, life balance, where okay, you realize that maybe you know, I'm not gonna become a star overnight as soon as I came, so maybe I need to get a job, maybe I need to provide for myself, and I need to find a way to balance those careers both, so I can eventually become a star. But now it's not happening for me, right? Oh yeah, she's crying again, but I'm not gonna let her in, so guys, because it's gonna be back and forth again. I don't know what she wants. Ooh, Devil. That's an interesting card. And I was talking to my friend and she's like, oh, why this guy, right? Usually Devil card is shown is like a monster and it's scary and it's like some evil thing. And here it is, a white guy, right, with horns and crazy red eyes. So this is my vision, and that just came to me. I don't know why, maybe I'm wrong and maybe a lot of people will judge me for it, but again, it's my interpretation, so don't take it to heart, don't get offended, right? So the way I see Devil usually is about addictions, is about you know, manipulating your power, is about taking advantage of people, right? So all of these addiction and the manipulations, that's what Devil is about. And what we've seen from TV and what we've seen from news, right, especially during Me Too movement and you know, a couple years ago, and I'm pretty sure it's still going on, right? Because it's very important to share your experiences and very important to know so people don't abuse their power, right? So for me, I feel like nowadays the Devil is you know, older white male guy, right? White older male. So the male in position of power. And we've seen a lot of stories, and of course, like, don't get offended if you're an older white male. I'm not talking about everyone, I'm talking about people, especially in Hollywood, and everyone knows it's been forever, right? So for a lot of actresses to get successful and get a good role, right, they needed to go through a very influential white male that wanted to take advantage of them, right? And they had a choice to they had a choice either to maybe go with his advances, right? Or forget about their careers, which wasn't fair, which wasn't easy, which is terrible in its own way. But I feel like this card, that's why I picked this card, because that's the representation in Hollywood of all these things that the terrible, right? The things that shouldn't be happening, the abuse of power, right? The abuse of your position in order to get sexual advances or any kind of other advances from, you know, people that just want a career, that just want to be someone, right? They want to enjoy the art. So that kind of thing, I feel like nowadays is getting better. And here I am losing my voice, so maybe it's not, I don't know. I don't know much about that, but you know, I've read the stories, and that's why this guy, like, is a random guy on the internet. So of course, I'm pretty sure he's a good person, but that's why I put horns and the red eyes, like a representation of that abuse of power, manipulation, and addictions to a certain power, right? Okay, so here it is. Okay, ooh, the Tower. So the Tower is very interesting card. So the Tower is something unexpected happens, right? Something breaks, something falls apart, something changes unexpectedly, and usually it's in a negative way, right? So the Tower here is interesting, and you guys can see here. So the building is falling down, right? It's crumbling. So whatever is happening, we don't know. But all people do is they film. And I feel like that's a representation of TV and Hollywood in general, is even if the tragedy, tragedy. Yes, I made it. Okay, so guys, I've been struggling with certain health condition, and I'm talking about it in my other channel. I'm gonna post a video soon, probably out. I'm not sure. It's a very personal video for me. And this year has been really hard. So that's what happens. It's just so weird. I just, you know, I get brain fog sometimes, and I forget certain words, even though I know them. Like, you know, I've graduated from university and other institutes here in US. Like, I know English pretty well, even though I have an accent. I mean, my GPA was pretty high. But so that's not the educational thing, it's you know, health thing. So I get brain fog, and I get you know, like mixing up words. It's just so weird. Sometimes in mid-sentence I can forget what I was talking about. Just, it's freaky and scary. Anyway, on a side note, so yeah, tragedy. Yay. And I've said this word before and it was fine. So yeah, so that's kind of, for me, the representation of Hollywood, where people see the disaster and they start feeling, instead of, I don't know, going helping, or instead of doing something, or I don't know what people are supposed to do when they see that kind of thing. But you know, the Hollywood thing is filming all this pain and filming all this thing, and you know, for other people to see. It's like, sometimes it's like entertainment, right? Because people like to see drama. People like to not like to see drama, but people are attracted to drama for some reason. That's why we have so many reality TV shows, right? And that's what TV is basically based on, because people not gonna watch boring stuff, right? And she's gonna keep crying. I'm not sure if you guys hear it or not. So that's a representation of Tower for me in Hollywood, where, you know, this, you know, the building is falling apart, it's breaking down, probably people are dying there, but here the crowd is just keep filming, right? Okay, I'm gonna let her in because she never stop.
1 minute later.
Come, you wanna sit here? No? You're gonna go there? Okay, go. Okay, so let's do the next one. Ooh, okay, so this one is a fun one, and I took this picture. So some pictures I found and some pictures I took. So this one is actually, so you see these feet? I went on a date on Hinge, so I'm single and mingling. And so basically, I was making this deck, and so the guy lives on Hollywood Boulevard, and I'm like, oh, let's go for a walk. So basically, my intention was to spend a really good time talking to a person, but also I make him pose for pictures, and I took some pictures of Hollywood Boulevard. And actually, you know, it's so interesting when you live in LA. People rarely, like almost never, go to Hollywood Boulevard because it's very busy, it's very touristy, it's like a lot of things going on, there's always a lot of traffic, so people try to avoid it. So yeah, I haven't been there since probably, like, I don't know, 8 years, the last time I walked on Hollywood Boulevard, unless it's like, you know, for you go to a restaurant or something, but it's like a very short walk from your car, right? So yeah, I think relatives came to visit and I showed them, but usually we don't go there. So it was really interesting day. I mean, it didn't work out, but it was a very interesting day because we went to all these, you know, iconic things, and I took some pictures, and it was really fun because you also never experienced the Hollywood before, because when you live here, you like don't really care for that stuff. It's only when people come and be like, oh, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go there. So yeah, so this is my day's feet here, sneakers, right? So this is actual Hollywood Boulevard. That's an empty star, and it says your name here. So the star in this deck is very positive. So in this kind of meaning that you can become a star if you want to. There can be your name here if you want to, right? If you really dedicated, if you, it's your thing, right? It's your passion, if it's your desire. I mean, I honestly, I don't know what about success. Maybe it doesn't happen for everyone. Probably doesn't happen for everyone, right? But I like the idea of possibility that, you know, if it's really your soul dream, if it's really deep in your heart, right, it might happen for you. So hopefully that's the case for folks that are really excited about Hollywood or want to be the star on the boulevard, right? There's a lot of plenty of empty stars over there. So guys, there's still a chance. There's still, you know, there's still space there. So work your magic, dedicated, everything that you want to do, just do it and you'll get. I'm not sure actually. I don't even know how you get your star over there. Like, what are you supposed to do? I have no idea. Like, I've seen all these, you know, famous people over there, but I have no idea what you're supposed to do. But your name can be here. And you see, like, this is an actual Hollywood Boulevard. This is an empty star. And yeah, I really like this card. Okay, let's do the next one, the moon. So Capitol Records, of course, that's a view of, you know, of Hollywood, of LA, from the top, and there's a huge moon looking at the city, and there are bright lights, and it's really pretty. So the moon here is more like, it's more like giving you the vibe of Hollywood. I really like this picture, like it's very dark and the moon is like so big and impressive. So the moon usually is about illusions, is about something that you don't see, about your intuition, right? So you can read your card however you like it, right? But at night, Hollywood is a little bit different because during the day, it feels like it's more concise, it feels like a more, it makes sense, but at night people start drinking, so of course, people start smoking, yeah, so that's where they get in different alternative state of mind, right? And that's where it can give you different vibes, right? And different, maybe better with your intuition, but maybe it's also illusion, right? So you can read it in different ways depending on the way you like. Okay, the sun. So this looks for, I didn't take this picture, so this looks for me like Beverly Hills. So you guys can see the Hollywood sign is right there. Actually, there are like so many streets in LA where you can see the Hollywood sign right from different angles. So this looks like Beverly Hills for me. One of the residential streets probably in Beverly Hills. I don't know, that's what I think. So the palm trees, the cute, you know, like very empty streets because people don't walk here, they drive here. So you won't see any people walking around, just, you know, taking pictures in the middle of the street. Yeah, so the sun is very bright, and California is a very sunny state, right? So we have sunny weather here all the time. And I grew up in a colder climate, like very, very cold. So definitely enjoying it, and I definitely like that. You know, it's sunshine. It's like people say we pay sunshine tax because everything is super expensive here, but at the same time, you know, it's sunny. It's nice and sunny here. And it's bright and people are bright, and so the sun here is like, you know, shine bright like a sun, right? And positivity and happiness and like whatever California is all about, right? Okay, next one, Judgment. Okay, so this is an interesting card, and that's you know, coming closer to the end of our my major arcana journey. So the Judgment. So basically you went through all the journey, right? You've been through, you lost something, you gained something, you went through sunshine, you went through the moon, and you went through all these phases of your journey, and eventually probably you learned something, you experienced something, you went through something. And the Judgment card for me personally is where, you know, it's time to judge you or what you learned, what you've been through, what happened, what you taken with you, right? So the Judgment card is not only about someone is judging you from above, right? But the Judgment card also is about, will you go forward further with what you learn, right? Will you give it up, or will you go forward with what you learned? So this Judgment card is like this pretty girl, and then I really like you see this almost like a death card, but at the same time it's like kind of judging you for your future journey. So you're about to end your major arcana journey, right, to the world. Once you get to the world, your journey is kind of over, right? It's never over in that sense, but it's kind of getting to the end, and then a new one eventually will start, right? Because it's always cyclical, it's always a cycle. So here it's about like judging what you've been through, what happened, what your emotions, what you're keeping, and what you're deciding to give up, right, and never come back to. What's changed and what didn't change. And this card kind of will define what kind of world you will go into, right? So the next card will be World. And that card is like, okay, so you've arrived to a certain reality that you didn't have before, because before, like, it was different, and now that you went through the journey, you've changed, right? So it's a certain different reality that you've been through, and that's where you're ready, like, okay, so I've achieved something, maybe I got a few roles, right, and then finally I'm an actor, right? So, or maybe like I booked a few gigs here and there, so finally I feel like a musician. Before I didn't have those gigs, right? So it's kind of getting somewhere to a certain destination. So this Judgment card is kind of, you know, looking at your journey and seeing what's going on, but at the same time it's kind of life looking, testing you, looking at your journey and seeing, okay, what you're taking, what you're not taking, and what you're getting into. So yeah, like a final judgment, but it's not a final, because, you know, you keep going through your life. Okay, next one, the World. So since it's a Hollywood deck, of course, the World is, you know, I'm not sure if new generation knows what it is, right? The cassette. You know, someone tried to, we actually, remember guys, I told you, went to walk on Hollywood Boulevard and take pictures. So there's this guy, and he was giving out CDs, right? CD. And do you guys remember what the CD, this round circle thing, right? because I forgot what CD is, because my laptop, it doesn't have the CD player. Like I don't have anything that plays CDs, honestly. I don't have anything. So this guy is like, you know, take it. Like, I mean, I wish I can play it, but I have nothing to play. I'm like, do people still use CDs? I'm like, why? I mean, maybe like now it's a barcode, right, that you do, like, what is it, the QR code that you do, like, that's how you know, share information. Like CDs, it felt like so old fashioned. So this is even older, right? So that's what we VHS, that's what we used to watch. So for me, this tape is a whole world, right? So each movie is a whole world, it's a whole transformation, and you can see the same transformation that we're talking about actors and actresses, right? You can see it in movies as well. So it's each movie is a transformation journey. So usually at the beginning, person starts with something, and then there's some struggle, there's something going on, they want something, they're going through things, and then eventually, like, happily ever after, or not happily ever after, right? It depends on the movie. But eventually they end up in a different reality, they end up in a different world. So for me, each movie is a world on its own, right? The same like Avatar, it's a different world, like it's a different reality, it's a different planet. So that's why it's beautiful, and its own thing, it's like its own journey, right? So that's why I picked this you know, cassette, because there is a representation for me in the movie. The world is in the movie itself, the movie itself is the world, right? The cassette is the world. Okay, Ace of Cups. Let's take a look what it is. So usually it's friendship, love, creativity, abundance. So Ace of Cups is a pretty good card. So as you can see here, it's a rosé. Everyone loves rosé. So it's a glass of bubbly, a glass of very bubbly, very cheery cup, very light and exciting and full of love and full of adventure and full of journey. So that's why I picked it. It looked really nice, and everyone loves rosé, so you can't go wrong with rosé, right? Okay, Two of Cups. So Two of Cups, usually it's union, attraction, meeting, connection, love connection, right? So like very, very positive, joining. So here you can see it's a man and a woman, and they're cheering up. And so for me, it's brunching. I don't know why, but in LA, everyone loves brunching, especially on the weekend. So that's where, when you go, you get for brunch with your girlfriends or with your romantic partner, right? So brunching is that's where you get mimosas, sometimes unlimited. Very good. So for me, like, it's a very positive talk. So you're sitting on the rooftop, you can see the city over there, and you're enjoying your mimosa, and you're enjoying your life, spending time with you know, friends and loved ones. Okay, Three of Cups. Three of Cups usually shows friendship, communion. So usually shows three friends or maybe more joining together, spending time, having fun, doing all fun things, right? So this one is a little bit on the shadow side, because you can see three women, right? And they're having fun, and they're like taking pictures, and they're posing, and they're doing all of these things. But at the same time, if you notice, it's all the same woman. It's all three of her, but she's all the same, right? It's all the same woman. So this, why is it a little bit on the shadow side? Because sometimes those friendships, communion, and union can be all about me, right? So I want to talk about myself. I want to spend time about myself. I'm a star. I'm cool. I'm just talking about me. But in my life, like I know how to do all of these things, and like that's where the person is pulling the blanket on them, right? That's where they're just talking about themselves, they focus on themselves. I'm a superstar. Like you can meet people like here like this here, we're like, oh my goodness, it's impossible to talk about that, because they're like, I know how to live. I'm gonna tell you how to live. I do it better. It's all about me. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm like, oh my God, can I talk now? Really? I mean, yeah, I get it. You're cool. But isn't it like a friendship connection, right? So this card is a bit on the shadow side, but you can read it any way you want to write it, any way you see it. But for me, that's why I picked it, because like, she is a star, she's a diva, she's taken autograph from herself, right? So it's like all different parts of herself, and she's enjoying just herself, not, you know, spending time with other people. Okay, Four of Cups, and this is an interesting one as well. So usually Four of Cups, it's a missed opportunities, boredom, so something like, okay, you have a lot of things, right? You have things in life, but you kind of don't want them, and you're kind of bored of them. So this Four of Cups shows kind of the same thing. But this Four of Cups, you see the guy, and probably I'm not sure, probably a lot of Hollywood stars, right, that become really successful. They're like, okay, so all these women are attracted to me, all these women want to be with me, right, and want a piece of me, but I'm kind of, oh, I'm bored, like, oh, it's too much, you know, that kind of thing. So that gives me this vibe where this beautiful lady, and she's like all over him, and this guy's like, oh, you know, whatever, I mean, maybe you can kiss me, maybe not, I don't care that much. So this kind of a boredom where you're like, no, yeah, I'm not excited about this. I'm not, I don't really care about this that much. Next one, I'm gonna put this one away. Okay, Five of Cups. It's a sad card, so usually it shows loss, disappointment, kind of, you know, taking time to reflect and process your emotions, right, where you feel like you don't like something in life and something needs to change. So this Five of Cups, you see this girl, and she's probably an actress, and you know, she's sitting in this apartment with like you know, just like not a fancy apartment, right, just regular one, and she's sitting on the floor by a couch, and she's drinking some tea, and she's thinking about stuff, experiencing and processing her emotions and feelings. So probably something is not going well for her, maybe in her career, right, and she's not getting auditions, or she's not getting where she wanted to be at this point, right? So the kind of, you know, processing grief and loss of what could have been, and what it is right now, and it's not matching, right, in her mind. Okay, next one is Six of Cups. So Six of Cups is usually nostalgia, thinking about the past, reflecting on the past, right? And here we are. She's listening to these old records, vinyl records, right? And she is checking. So for me, like, that's the ultimate past experience. The vinyl, is it vinyl? Vinyl records. And she's listening to old style, like, music and things, and getting all nostalgic, like back in the days, how they did it, and they played maybe jazz or some other music. So it's really fun card, and it's like reflecting on your past experience, and sometimes in a, you know, reverse position can be getting stuck in your past experience, and like living in the past instead of living in the present. Okay, next one, Seven of Cups. So Seven of Cups, in the interesting card, usually shows different options. So for me, I put like options like different food, right? So there are cupcakes, and there are like a little bite foods, and there are fruits and like drinks and stuff. So basically it's probably like some kind of party and brunching and stuff. So usually Seven of Cups is choices, fantasies, dreams, right? You have so many options to choose from. So here it's also maybe like an influencer, or you know, everyone is taking picture of the food still nowadays. Nowadays, right? So showing off on Instagram, building your followers and all of this stuff. So she has a bunch of choices to choose from, right? But she's still limited. If you look in the shadow side, she's still limited to her phone, and she's not really choosing the experience that's around her. She's choosing experience that is on the phone, right? Somewhere in different virtual reality. So that kind of can be like reverse or shadow side, where she's not living her life, she's living in the dream, in the fantasy of what could have been or what she wants to be, instead of living like taking a bite of this amazing food, right? Or taking a bite of this amazing cupcake and living the experience, talking to people, right? So this kind of card is like, you know, here and there. So you can read, I mean, you can read any way you want, it doesn't matter, but that's my take on it, and that's why, you know, I chose this imagery. This one, 8 of Cups, letting go, releasing, and this one, you know, this beautiful lady, she's on the beach, and she's taking a walk at the sunset. She's all alone, and she's taking time to process, to release, to let go of something that she doesn't need, to think about her life, to see what's happening, right? To see what she needs to let go. And honestly, that's why I chose the beach, because that's what I do myself. I go to the beach, the sunset, I see it, I walk, and it's so peaceful by the ocean. The ocean gives you this kind of calm and peaceful vibe, and even if you're at a bad day, you come and you sit by the beach, and it's pretty chilly most of the time except summer, but it's just so nice. It just, you know, you spend some time there and you come back, you're a changed person. You like, it's easier to let go, it's easier to move on, it's easier. So walking on the beach helps you to do all of these things. That's why I chose this picture, because that's how I do it. That's how I like, that's my way of doing it. That's how I see it. Like, it can be different for probably everyone, right? But nature is in general amazing for releasing and letting go, because you're not attached to things that are around you. You're not attached to things like, you can see the trees and you see the seasons changing, you see the water moving, coming and go, and it's somehow easier to do and to let go of your, you know, things in life, and instead of being like clinging and attaching to them, right? Ooh, okay, that's a good one. So, granting your wishes, manifesting your dreams, the universe is granting your wishes, or in this case, it's some dude in a suit granting your wishes. You see, he's holding a magic lamp, and the genie is gonna come out, and the genie is gonna make your wishes come true. So for me, this card is a representation. You know, universe is granting you wishes, right? But at the same time, it's, you know, it's happening through real earthy things, right? Through people, through experiences, through someone approving, like, okay, she can be a lead role in that movie, right? So that kind of thing, like this guy in the suit power has the power to decide your wish coming true or not coming true, right? So that's why I chose it, and I think it represents kind of, you know, the genie lamp and like the genie coming out, but that's a guy who decides where to hold it, who granted to, right? But you know how, guys, it works in life. It works through other people. It's not like, you know, the God comes down from the sky, or universe like, okay, comes down like, I'm gonna grant you wish, right? It comes, processed through other people, through experience. So someone, you know, like, oh, maybe she should be that, right? Maybe she should be a lead role. So that kind of manifesting power it comes through other people, even though they get it from probably somewhere above, and like you're praying all this time, right? But that's how it happens in real life, and I wanted to kind of reflect that through this card. Okay, let's do the next one, and the next one is a really good one. I really like it. Okay. 10 of Cups. really good card. Everyone wants it, right? Because it usually shows family, it usually shows connections, it usually shows happily ever after, where you get everything that you wanted. And here I chose, because it's also a family card, right? I chose, you know, family because it's a movie themed deck. I chose a family watching the movie. They're happy, they're enjoying, they're eating popcorn. It's like, you know, the movie representation or real life representation of a happy family. They're really enjoying it. They're smiling, they're laughing, they're spending time together. So for me, like, that was a perfect 10 of Cups, where like all coming together as a community. Okay, let's do the next one. Ooh, Page of Cups. So I took this one. It was on Hollywood Boulevard, as I told you guys, on my date. That didn't work out. I mean, that's fine. The guy was actually pretty nice and he was very good, but it just didn't click. But this was the guy. So we were walking on Hollywood Boulevard, and that was a guy performing on Hollywood. And you know, you see the guitar with people putting money in there, and he's, you know, trying to break into this, you know, recording world, to this artist world, to this, you know, singer world. And it was actually pretty good. I really liked his singing, and you know, it's, for me, it's also being creative, like the same like Page of Cups, right? He's creative, he's dreamy, he wants to get somewhere, he wants to conquer the Hollywood, right, and become a star. He wants like all the, as like, imagine creative dreams that he has, right? So I really liked it. And you know, also this passion, and also this you know, being brave, because, you know, just performing in front of people and people just walking by. Some people don't look at all, some people point fingers, right? I took a picture, hope he's okay with it. So yeah, he's a star in my deck. He's a star in my deck, so I hope maybe one day he'll see it and like, here's me. So okay, if he becomes successful, I want, you know, I want the credit too. So yeah, so that's kind of representation for me, this whole, you know, creative life story, where you start the Hollywood Boulevard, just, you know, people passing by, and then you eventually you move to, you know, to recording your record, like recording your album, right? And you're doing all the other things. So yeah, actual picture, El Capitan here, so it's literally on Hollywood Boulevard with all the crosses. Next one, Knight of Cups. Ah, that's an interesting one. So I wanted something. So I see this person as, you know, nice. They can be male or female, right? It doesn't matter. So for some reason I saw this person, and they kind of represent this romantic, but at the same time more down to earth romantic, right? So more like a California style romantic, down to earth, very grounded, but at the same time very up in the emotions. You know, I put the California sign here to say that, you know, she's from California. You know, so, you know, maybe smoking here or there, because everyone loves weed here and it's legal. So I'm not promoting it. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that, but that's a weed leaf, just FYI. So pretty cool shades, right? And I don't know, that just kind of gave me the, you know, Knight of Cups vibe, like a very cool, very chill, but the same, like more deep kind of emotions kind of vibe, very romantic, but down to earth. Queen of Cups. Okay, Queen of Cups is not a traditional Queen of Cups. Usually Queen of Cups shows very feminine, very emotional, very like flowy, very light. This Queen of Cups is more like a stronger personality, but at the same time you can see that she's very feminine, she's very intuitive. She has this cool tattoo, right, that shows her, you know, creative side. So I feel like that's a LA Queen of Cups. It's not like, oh, you know, flowy, super emotional, but, you know, she has emotions and she knows how to express them, and she's very confident and she's very comfortable with her emotions. And you know, the cups here, she's drinking a really good bottle of something, right? And she's taking a sip and she's, you know, dosing those emotions in the way she needs to, and she knows the comfortable level, and she's really cool. And you can see like she is in control, even though most of the time Queen of Cups is more like very, very emotional. This one, I felt like, and you see like she has stars, and you know, on her clothing, and she has a cute little thingy here. So for me, that's a lay Queen of Cups, right? Because Queen of Cups can be different, and you know, emotional and feminine doesn't have to be like a no flowy dress and like I don't know. I don't want to offend anyone if someone like but for me, it's just the Queen of Cups of, you know, Hollywood LA. Very grounded, and she knows how to handle herself and her emotions in a very you know, in a very certain and assertive way. Okay, next one is the King of Cups. Ooh. So this one, I was looking actually for a doctor. So something with Mike Dreamy kind of vibe. But you know, I came to this one. It's a doctor, so you can see the scissors, and he's holding his heart in his palm, right? So I'm not sure what with the facial hair and everything, but this is a like kind of older picture, right? So older kind of I don't know, 1900 movies kind of vibe or something like that, right? Because his clothing is a little bit different. But you know, this kind of very emotional, intelligent, very nurturing, right? Because he's a doctor, so he's very nurturing, he's very understanding, that kind of thing. So kind of McDreamy, but with a, you know, huge beard. So no, it's not that popular right now, but he has very kind eyes, right? So the kind of standard King of Cups, like I couldn't find a picture of a doctor that looks very nurturing. All of them look like this, you know, and they look like that, or maybe smiling, but and maybe most of the doctors are, because I have a lot of experience with doctors, and not so many of them are nurturing, honestly. Even though they're supposed to be. So yeah, so that's why I like this picture, because he's like, here's my heart to you, right? I took it out of surgery on myself, and like I decided to give it to you. So he's very like open with his emotions. He's very giving with love and acceptance, and you know, he's very giving with his heart. Okie dokie, let's see what's the next one. Ace of Pentacles. So Ace of Pentacles usually a really good card. So it's you know, it means gift, prosperity, opportunity, manifestation of your dreams, right? So it's a very, very positive card. And it took me a while to think like what it can be for the Hollywood deck, and I decided to do a red rope. And you can see in this red rope, you can see like the whole world in there, right? So stars are arriving, and the, you know, flashes are shining. So this whole idea of you know, manifestation of your dreams, right? Being a star, being on a red carpet, you know, getting all this attention and love from your fans, right? Or getting this role in the movie. So this kind of manifestation of your dream, but in the movie role. That's why I put this red rope in the Ace of Pentacles, and that's why the circle thing, you can see like a little world down there that shows you dreams coming true. Okay, next one is Two of Pentacles, and this lady's pretty fun. I really like this picture. So Two of Pentacles is usually balance, juggling obligation, choices, right? And she's kind of, I'm not sure, did I make the right choice or not? Or is she exercising? Like, I'm exercising. So this gives me like kind of, you know, kind of 80s vibe, where they used to like exercise. I watched this movie, what that movie recently? I forgot. yeah, so it was kind of 80s movie, and then they were wearing all these blazers and wearing those, you know, workout, you know, bikinis, like it looked so weird. So this, like, I wanted to give that kind of vibe where she's like, oh, I don't know, should make this choice, should I make that choice? But at the end, you can see that it's pretty much the same. She's looking here, she's looking there, but it doesn't matter where she's looking, it's the same picture. So eventually she has to make a choice, and sometimes maybe in this card it doesn't matter what choice you make, it's still your journey, right? So whatever choice you make, it's the right choice. Okay, Three of Pentacles, collaboration, working together on the projects, right? So here you see probably, you know, a few young people working on a creative project, doing some fun things, you know, working maybe on a script, maybe working on a song. So it's all about collaboration. So basically it's like a standard Three of Pentacles card, like, you know, working together on something. Okay, here we go. Four of Pentacles. So Four of Pentacles usually all about stability. And I took this picture, and this is picture on Hollywood Boulevard. It's Hollywood and La Brea. So if you ever visit LA, or if you live in LA, you probably know this. You like if you drive up north from La Brea, you can see like those four ladies, and they hold in this Hollywood kind of thingy. So basically, four ladies holding the fort of holding its stability, you know, groundness. And I took this picture, and somehow they, you know, before printing they all fit, but this one you don't see them that much. I think it's the printing process that, yeah. So yeah, you probably seen these ladies. They're very cute. Honestly don't know what they mean, so maybe I should look it up, because I've seen it so many times, always driving up, you know, going to a freeway, going to 101, you know, trying to get somewhere. And I always do them because I always drive up on La Brea, but I don't know, I guess they mean Hollywood. Yeah, that's the problem when you live in the city. I feel like, you know, tourists and people that come here, they know way more about the city or about all of the things than we do, because we've been living here for so many years, and most people that were born here, I know they haven't even been to most of the museums or most of the attraction places like Hollywood, right, or other stuff. So most people don't really care who live here. So that's why it's very interesting, because like we don't know, we're supposed to know this thing. Yeah, so that's the way it is. Okay, Five of Pentacles, and that's unfortunately the struggle of many people that live in LA is poverty, because it's very expensive. The pricing of housing goes up all the time, constantly, and it's higher and higher and higher. So like even affording, like trying to rent a room is extremely expensive compared to other parts of the United States. And you know, a lot of people get to the poverty situation where they cannot afford it. That's why there's so many homeless people in LA. There's a lot of homeless people in LA, and you'll see them in Hollywood and downtown, pretty much everywhere, except probably Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is a little bit different when it comes to that. So yeah, Five of Pentacles, you know, poverty, problem with money, right? So you can see this homeless person, and they're struggling financially, they're struggling where to live, they're struggling where to be, right, how to live their life. And unfortunately that's the case right now. And it's gotten worse after pandemic, and it's gotten because the prices still keep going up. You know, honestly, I don't know, it just keeps going up and up and up, and it's just crazy. Anyway, I guess that's a, you know, sunshine tax in LA, or LA tax in general. Everything is freaking expensive. Yeah, so this is a card, this is a card all about, that's a different side of LA, that, you know, people probably don't imagine or don't see when they come to Hollywood, because they think it's all glamour and it's all cool and all superstars, right? But there are regular people living here, and there are regular people that are struggling to survive here, because you know, the prices are extremely expensive, and you know, even renting a place, it's like sometimes it feels impossible. Like, you need to, in order to rent a place, you need to show your income 3 times higher than your salary, right? Monthly salary. And like, the prices I mean, I'm not gonna say, but 1 bedroom starts here is like sometimes over $2,000 or sometimes $3,000, depending on the 1 bedroom, especially in the mid city. And like, I don't know, like, you're supposed to make ridiculous amount of money in order to afford it, and most people like work normal jobs that they don't make that much. So yeah, LA is changing a lot, and I feel like it's been changing for a long time. So we'll see where it goes. But unfortunately, you know, with the prices rising and the whole demographics changing, that's where a lot of people find themselves struggling financially. Okay, 6 of Pentacles, and this is a very interesting card. Usually shows generosity, usually shows kind of giving, right? Maybe charity. So this card, it took me a while to figure out what kind of image to bring out, because Hollywood for me is about, you know, it's my personal opinion, it's my personal vision, right? But a lot of people are here are superficial. So they, let's say this lady, right? She's a superstar. You can see cameras, they're taking pictures, and she either gives an autograph, or for me, she's writing a check here for charity. She's donating probably millions of dollars for charity. But again, that's a question here. Is she donating because she really cares, or is she donating to get her image right? So is it like a marketing campaign? So Hollywood is kind of, you know, unclear. Like, you don't know what you really see, because there's always an image presented to you, and there's all, not always, but most of the time, there's some gain they try to get, right? When they present a certain image. So for me, that's what she's doing. She's writing a check, but at the same time, she's writing a check not in private, where she like sends it in mail, no one knows about it, right? She's writing a check right in front of the audience, saying, okay, I'm cool, I'm donating all this money, I'm so generous, but is it really generosity? So that can be a shadow side of this card, where it's like, is it really generosity, or person just trying to show off as a generous person, right? Is they trying to show something they're not? 7 of Pentacles. And 7 of Pentacles, usually it's a pause, trying to reflect on your journey, what you've gathered, right? So usually there's some garden and some harvesting going on. So in Hollywood, we don't do gardening, we do movies. So that's why this guy, he's filmed some episodes, he's filmed some footage. Now it's time to harvest it, now it's time to process it, now it's time to move to the next stage of the development, right? So for me, that's the perfect 7 of Pentacles for a movie situation, where, you know, it's already, we stopped filming, we started developing the filming, we started putting it together, taking time off to reflect. What do we need to add some footage to it, right? Is it all worked out? We need to review it. So that kind of thing. And for me, that's the 7 Pentacles all about, in like a Hollywood theme kind of deck. Okay, let's do 8 of Pentacles. So 8 of Pentacles, as you can see, is an old typing machine, and the person is typing. So for me, so 8 of Pentacles is usually about craftsmanship. It's about mastering your skill. It's about, you know, practicing to get better at what you do, right? So this person, I wanted to give it that kind of old school vibe. I know probably not that many people right now work on an old typing machine, right? Typewriter, right? So, you know, most of us on the computer, sometimes voice even typing, right? On different tools. But, you know, making your craft work, practicing, typing the, acts maybe, or book, or scenes in the movie, right? So doing your art, practicing your art, trying to get better, and taking time to get better. So for me, like, this is a perfect Eight of Pentacles when it comes to kind of movie writing, writing the songs, right? So taking dedication and time, because I mean, yeah, it seems so easy from a side, but you gotta practice. You gotta dedicate a lot of time to become really good at it, right? So it's anything in life, it takes practice, it takes dedication, it takes doing it over and over and over and over 1,000,000,000 times in order to get better. Okay, Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. This one is pretty positive one in this deck. And usually it's positive in every deck. So Nine of Pentacles is so Nine of Pentacles, successful harvest usually is red, right? So successful getting the results of your work. So here you see she's on the red carpet, pictures are taken, so she's getting results of her work, right? Of her craft. She probably was a movie star or a celebrity, right? A singer. And then she finally is getting recognition. She finally getting, fruit from her work, right? So that's what she is doing here. The Nine of Pentacles here, like you see, she's taking pictures. She's wearing a nice dress. She's on the red carpet. So she's finally getting recognition that she put so much work into, right? The typing and filming and doing all of this work behind the scenes that people don't see, right? Because it takes a incredible amount of work to do, to go through all of this. So finally getting to the stage where she's like, yeah, okay, finally I'm getting the recognition. Okay, Ten of Pentacles, also really good card, right? Right, Ten of Cups, it's also like family, getting your wishes come true, recognition, so pretty much getting everything that you dream of. So that's why I put like a very expensive car, probably with a chauffeur, right? And this incredibly expensive house, you can see the glass door and beautiful house, probably on the hills, right? So that's where celebrities live, in Hollywood Hills, right? It's a popular, cool thing to do. Very expensive houses, very beautiful view. So yeah, so Ten of Pentacles is like, okay, finally you put so much work into it, you've done all of the things you're supposed to do, and here you have your wishes granted, you get into the lifestyle that you were hoping to get eventually to, right? Okay, Page of Pentacles. Ooh, that's a cool one. So superhero. You can see the guy is superhero on a moped, and the girl is superhero wearing a capes and having fun and being also pentacly, right? So this is a really fun card, like superhero card, but with kind of more young energy, right? More young aspirations, more like kid aspirations. So I really like this card. It's really nice. It's very cute, and it shows like a couple, being cool and things. Okie dokie. Let's see. Knight of Pentacles. Also interesting one, and I chose this one for a certain reason. So usually knights are kind of younger, right? So it's shown kind of younger, but I like this picture because this journey, you can be any age, right? So you can become an actor anytime you want to. You can go through this journey in any age that if you decide, one day you wake up, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be an actor, you can do that. And this journey is, inclusive of everyone. So whoever wants to go through this journey, they can do it. So Knight of Pentacles usually is very pragmatic, is very stable, is very about down to earth work kind of thing. And a lot of people, as I told you, if they want to become movie stars and they try in auditions, if they do all the work, they also need to find a daytime job where they actually make money, because those gigs here and there, most of the time they don't pay well. So this guy, he's probably want to be in Hollywood movies, but then he's working as a barista, and he is getting his paycheck in order to survive here in LA, probably working 2 jobs because working as a barista you don't get that much money, so and considering the prices, probably you need one more. So yeah, but he's trying to meet his ends meet, and he's doing all of the things that you're supposed to do, right, in order to be self-sufficient and work on your dream and get there. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. I really like this one. She looks very confident. She looks very down to earth. She looks very grounded. She knows what the world is about. She knows Hollywood world really well. She knows what she needs to do in order to get what she wants to get. She's very practical. She's very, but she's also a bit materialistic, right? Her clothes is very well, and she's caring about fashion, right? She's reading a magazine, which is a pretty good thing, because in Hollywood, most people need to be that, right? Most people need to look a certain way in order to book certain roles, right? To present a certain image. So she's very practical in that way. She knows what's supposed to happen. She knows how to work the crowd in order to get where she wants to be. But at the same time, she's very independent. She's like, okay, I have my pentacles, money in my account. I don't need anyone to tell me what to do or not to do. So she knows how to be self-sufficient, and she definitely projects that. She's like, okay, that's what it is, that's who I am. I'm not gonna change myself for anything, for any pentacle in the world. I'm already grounded, I'm good with what it is. And King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is also very practical, very down to earth, he's very efficient at his work, because he knows that in order to get your pentacles, in order to get money, in order to succeed, in order to get your project going, you need to put in the work, right? You need to have the tools in order to succeed. You need to do the groundwork, you need to have experience, you need to have connections or whatever it is. But the work itself also matters. Not like, you know, just magically appears, right? He is doing the work, he's filming the movie, he's doing all the things they're supposed to do in order to become successful. So all of these TV directors, right, they are about work. Of course, we see them and like, okay, this guy, like Steven Spielberg, is amazing, right? But there's so much work he put into it. Of course, he's a King of Pentacles because he's done all this journey, he's done all the work, right, to get to the point where he is like very, as the recognition and success that he deserves. So he knows that his journey to get there was, you know, very practical, very, we're gonna get there, we're gonna do everything it takes in order to get to the point where I feel comfortable, right, in my career, in my journey, but in a very practical way. Okay, so we are on to Swords, and Swords is a really tough one. Usually it's really emotionally tough one, because Swords is all about ideas, it's all about thinking, it's all about what's going on in our head, right? That elusive stuff that we have to work through, but you know, it's not very tangible. It's more like emotional stuff that's going on with our thinking, right? So Ace of Swords is new ideas, opportunities, you know, clarity in some way. So here it is, like a light bulb coming in your head, like a idea about the movie, about the script, about anything that actually comes to you. It doesn't really matter what it is. So that's what the Ace of Swords is about for me. Okay, Two of Swords. And Two of Swords is usually, you know, choosing the pathway, right? So it's either this way or that way, which way you want to go. So here actually is more choices, but there are clear ones that you can go right, you can go left, right? So he's walking, and this is a Hollywood Boulevard. You see the dinosaur here. You can really clearly see it, but you know, they usually decorate it every time for each season. So now it's wearing like Sunday hat because it's Christmas coming up soon, so it's really cute. And usually during summer it's like sunglasses and surfing board next to it, so like it's really fun. So if you guys come here, definitely take a look up and see the dinosaur. So yeah, so this is a famous museum. So this guy is walking, and or maybe gal, or maybe I don't know, whoever it is, like the person, right? And they gotta choose the path to go, like which way, left or right, or maybe even straight, right? So the Two of Swords is like, but it's not clear. We don't see what's next, right? We don't see what's going on here, there, or everywhere, and also don't see where they're going. So yeah, it's very kind of making a choice card. Ooh, Three of Swords. So Three of Swords is a broken heart, and it's a very challenging card. It's a very hard card to read, because, and here is Marilyn Monroe, and you know that she struggled with a lot of emotions, and she struggled emotionally, right? And you know, the way her life ended, it's just sad. I mean, right now we have so much more emotional awareness, and I feel like it's getting better and better, but she struggled in her own head, in her own life, so with a broken heart, with, you know, feeling not accepted. Even though she had so much fame, she still had this broken heart inside her that she couldn't handle, right? So it's very sad, and I really love this picture because it shows, like, it shows the true Three of Swords, the pain, the broken heart, the journey. It's a very tough one, very tough one. So that's why I picked it. I feel like it's just the reflective of the movie community in general, because a lot of stars, they struggle in isolation, because once they become successful, people either want a piece of them because they're successful, or they want to be friends with them because they're successful, because of money and fame. So finding, you know, true heart connections is really hard. Finding that true, even true love, right? And your relationship is under microscope all the time. So this kind of, you know, feeling, it can be very lonely. This kind of life can be very lonely and can be heartbreaking in so many levels. Not even like, you know, traditional, you know, broken heart when romantic relationship doesn't work out, right? It can be anything else. So this card shows kind of all of this pain. It doesn't matter on what level, about what emotion it is, right? Okay, next one, Four of Swords. And Four of Swords is about solitude, it's about retreat, it's about taking time off, right? And you can see there's empty chair here, so people are taking time off in order to process, in order to grieve, in order to go through their emotions. So empty chair, there's nothing going on, no audition, nothing, no actor, because they're all taking time off to process. Five of Swords. Five of Swords is here. It's about, you know, staying away, a little isolation, right? Keeping the boundaries. You know, you see this. There's an actress, and she's going through maybe interview or audition, and this, you know, guy, he's like, no, you're not supposed to come here. That you're not, like, you're not supposed to be here. So it's all about boundaries. It's all about making that, you know, staying away and making that distinction. It's also about conflict, right? Because when you're, you know, trying to push people away, you're like, no, you're not supposed to be here. So conflict kind of arises, and like it brings all these feelings, like, you know, oh, like I'm gonna punch you if you don't try to move away, right? If you don't go away. See, Six of Swords. So Six of Swords here, usually it shows, you know, a person is moving away, right? So here, I wanted to show not moving away in a physical way, but moving away and disconnecting in an emotional way. So this person is kind of disconnecting from the crowd, disconnecting from people, disconnecting from family or friends, right? So they just go and sit on the street by themselves alone, and they maybe to process the feeling, maybe feeling some grief or maybe feeling some sadness. But this is kind of, you know, it's time to me to to have this alone time and not to process what's going on. It's time for me to move away what was, and now that I'm not happy with it, right? Now it's not working out for me. So you can see like all these emotions where the person is deeply thinking about what's happening and what they like and what they don't like. Okay, Seven of Swords, and this one is an interesting one. So usually it's deception or betrayal, but you know, also kind of pushing the boundaries and kind of being not nice, being I don't want to say a mean thing. I don't want to say a mean word. So kind of being you know what it is. So Seven of Swords, I decided to do paparazzi because there is zero boundaries. There's zero caring of what the person is feeling right now, because paparazzi usually try to take advantage of hurt and you know, tough moments in people's life, right? So usually when the story breaks, it's something that people really want to know about the person, that the movie star or celebrity. Probably at that point they're really struggling, so they're going through a lot of emotional pain or something emotional, something serious that's going on, and you know, this is kind of breaking the boundary and being not very nice and considering about their feelings or their emotions during that stage of life, right? So they just, okay, whatever, I need to take pictures, I don't care what you feel, I don't care how you look, the worse the better, right? Because they're gonna pay me more money for it. So this is kind of Seven of Swords, is kind of, you know, a little betrayal, but on a human. Not saying that paparazzis are bad people in general, but it's kind of, you know, not very nice. A little like a mini betrayal of, you know, humanity, where you taking advantage of and getting paid for people's pain, right? For people going through really crappy emotional time. But I guess I'm not judging. I guess that, you know, there's work for everyone, and I guess, you know, showing people that people go through challenging stuff is also helpful for others, because that's, you know, we feel that we're like celebrities, also people, right? That like they're not just, you know, hello wearing like gods, they're also people that go through emotional challenges. So I guess that's the other side of it. Yeah, I mean, the world is a complicated place, all I can say. Okay, so Eight of Swords is usually about feeling stuck, feeling emotionally trapped, and that's why I put this so this is Santa Monica. This is Santa Monica Bridge, and you can see, but you can see this, the view is closed, right? The view is trapped because of the bridge, and it kind of looks like a jail, right? Like you're looking from inside on outside, and you see in this world, and you see like all this stuff is going on, the cars are moving, people living their life, but you kind of get stuck behind the bars, and you're like, what's going on, right? So feeling stuck in your own way, because technically you're on the bridge, so you can go this way, you can go that way, you can, you know, move any direction, right? But here we are looking at through this, you know, through this hole, and you're like, well, people living their amazing lives, and here I am struggling, right? So it's kind of, you know, being stuck on a mental level, and you can get unstuck anytime you want, but maybe that's not the right time for you until you decide to do so. So okay, so Nine of Swords, nightmares, depression, anxiety. So I feel like this is like a scene from a movie, maybe, where maybe she's in a deep depression, or maybe it's a nightmare movie, kind of, you know, horror movie, right? So this kind of for me represents Nine of Swords, where she's completely out of it. She's completely depressed. She doesn't want to move. She just, you know, was walking down the stairs. So she's like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to do anything. I am tired. I'm depressed. Out of it. What's the point, right? So this kind of feeling of complete otherness, and like I don't want to do things anymore. So that kind of gave me this vibe, and that's why I chose this card. Okay, Ten of Swords, very hard and complicated of our journey with Nine of Swords arcanas, right? So Ten of Swords. You see, there's car, and there's this guy, and there's the black bag, so it means that he is dead. Yeah, Ten of Swords, definitely not a positive card, definitely a tough one. So it means the end of the emotional journey, right? So it's kind of, you know, death on an emotional level. So basically, when you get to Ten of Swords, you're like, okay, this is too much. It's been too much for a long time. You know, it's just like I'm broke, right? I'm breaking up inside, right? It's enough is enough, right? So this is a breaking point in the journey where like, okay, that's it. It's complete burnout. It's complete, you know, I'm just in bed and I feel like I'm dying, right? You know, it's not a nice feeling, but that's the way sometimes when we go through burnout, right? So Ten of Swords is like where the emotions, where the feelings, where the thoughts were too much, and it's finally got to the point where, okay, there's time for it to go away. There's time for it, like, you know, a spiritual death, right? Not spiritual death, but more like a emotional death level kind of thing. And then eventually you get to the better point. Eventually you get to the ace where you're like, okay, finally I'm awake again. I'm getting on a new journey, right? So swords are not easy to go through. Swords are very tough and complicated, as everything in our head, right? In our thinking, we go through emotions and feelings, and of course sometimes it's hard. So Ten of Swords is kind of a hardest one there. Okay, Page of Swords. That's a fun one, so I really like it. It's like an old style, you know, roller thingy, and she's wearing those gloves, and she's wearing short shorts and jean shorts, right? And she's very active, she's very elusive, she's full of energy, she's, you know, fun and going all over, right? So that kind of energy that gives me Page of Swords, and this deck especially relating to Hollywood. So, you know, this restless energy, doing things, and opinionated, right? Or maybe roller derby. So that kind of thing is like a very powerful, very raw, fun, you know, young energy. Okay, Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords, it gives me this, you know, this kind of guy on the bike, so it's a little bit more mature energy, right? Not like roller derby, but a little more mature, but the same, like fast thinking, very opinionated, very down to point, like a, you know, maybe a biker, right? Or maybe like a, you know, driving this cool motorcycle, very fast, very passionate. So that kind of energy that gives me, you know, people that do all the stunts in the movie, like doing all the cool, like cars rolling over and jumping with bikes, right? So that kind of thing. So that's a Knight of Swords kind of energy, very fast, very opinionated. Queen of Swords. Ooh, I like this one. She's also sitting on a motorcycle, you can see like here. So she's also a very fast thinker. She's very opinionated. She knows how to work with her thinking, with her emotions. She has strong opinions about pretty much anything. She knows how to hold her ground. especially thinking emotionally in a conversation. You see, like, you can get the energy from her. She's like, okay, whatever, so you gotta say something to me. I know how to reply, right? Like, she has that resting, you know, biatch face, but in a good way, in a very powerful way, right? So, and like I like this, like, all kind of old-fashioned style, like the net right here, like very cool. So kind of a mixture of, you know, the cool fashion, and, like, you know, people are wearing, like, I think that's already moved away, right? Like wearing like showing boobs and stuff. I don't know much about fashion, guys. But still, so I think she's pretty cool, and I really love this picture for Queen of Swords because it shows like the strong, opinionated energy, like holding her ground. Yeah, so really like it. And King of Swords. Oh, this is a fun one. I was thinking long and hard what to do King of Swords, and then I'm like, okay, so we'll do like maybe Godfather vibes, right? Because I feel like Godfather, like, definitely King of Swords. Maybe with a lot of shadows in him, definitely. But, you know, very straightforward, very opinionated, very strong man, right? Holding a gun, holding a cigarette at the same time, like, okay, I can do both, right? So very up in his position. He knows what he thinks, he knows what he wants, like that kind of energy, like very strong mentally and emotionally, because I mean, you gotta be, because people try to kill you every single second of your life, right? So like that kind of mental pressure, I don't know, maybe not every second of your life, but I mean, it's a very dangerous place to be in, right? And I'm pretty sure it's not easy mentally. So yes, that's for me like a King of Sword kind of energy, like super strong mental energy. Ace of Wands. New ideas, great. Creation, balance, and mention energy. So aces, and especially wands, are all about creation, and wands are all about energy. So creation and energy. So I feel like a film camera, and you can see like there is a TV show, something going on, very energetic, very creative, very powerful. People are acting, right? So like those like kind of a talk TV show energy, where people like, you know, kind of have a script, but at the same time they are, you know, doing their own thing, acting their own way, sharing all this passion and creative side of them, right? So like an Ace of Wands creating something. So this is the beginning of creation of the world, right? Where the film and show, where they getting the stuff going on. So yeah, that's how I see the Ace of Wands, and that's why I wanted to use the camera, because I feel like it represents the whole aces of creation, of kind of movie creation process. Planning. Okay, Two of Wands. Okay, this is an interesting one, also kind of old school style. She's wearing this kind of, you know, stripy bikini, this white hat, maybe sitting somewhere in Santa Monica on the rocks, and thinking whether she should stay, whether she should go, where she should go. So kind of, you know, making plans, trying to figure out what to do, kind of creative ideas, right? Thinking of creative ideas. What should I do with this life and this luggage, right? So that kind of energy, like, you know, beginning something interesting, beginning something creative, getting into creative field maybe, so deciding your future. Okay, Three of Wands. very fun card. So Three of Wands usually is about understanding your ambition, you know, about creativity, putting your work into creativity, right? Doing all the things that you're supposed to do, being creative. So you see these ladies, they're pretty fun, and they, you know, maybe they're dancing, or maybe they perform in some certain way, right? Or maybe they're doing something else, but they're doing something creative, expressing themselves in a creative way, and, you know, kind of being in the flow of this creative journey. Ooh, okay, Four of Wands. That's a fun one. I took this picture, so you see Elvis Presley. I took this picture at one of the gift shops, like you can see La La Land right there. This old car, and pretty fun. So he's playing the guitar. So Four of Wands is about celebration, prosperity. So he's super successful, right? He knows he's successful. He has this really cool car. He's in La La Land. He's playing the guitar. He's, you know, getting the recognition that he wants. So it's a really fun card. It's a very positive card. And that's, if you guys go to Hollywood, that's one of the, you know, the shops there. So if you recognize it, let me know in the comments. Or if you live in where it is. So yeah, so that kind of fun things. Yeah. Okay, Five of Wands. Five of Wands is about conflict. It's about competition. It's about a little bit of aggression, right? Expressing aggression. So I feel like Five of Wands is a little journey from you know, where we're getting all this energy worked up, right? Maybe this person was, you know, trying to do something positive, but eventually they get frustrated and like, okay, I'm gonna burn this stuff down because I'm so frustrated, because, you know, people don't listen to me, because, you know, maybe, you know, something gone wrong, right? So this person experienced a little bit of aggression where like, okay, nothing is working, no one is listening to me, so maybe it's time to burn this stuff down. Okie dokie, yeah, we're finally getting there. So Six of Wands, right? Six of Wands is the ultimate success, the badass. You finally got your recognition. You finally getting like your awards, right? You're finally getting to where you want to be. So the Oscar, right? And this one is a pretty cool dude to get, right? And you're getting recognition from your peers, from the world. So yeah, the ultimate, really good card, really powerful card. What's you know, celebrities and people in movie business trying to get to, right? Trying to achieve. So yeah, I mean, all over amazing. So Seven of Wands can be read in a different way, but I feel like this Seven of Wands, and the way I see it, is emotional battle, is some kind of opposition, right? Some kind of emotional struggle a person going through, and that's why you can see it. So this is probably Venus and Santa Monica. It looks like Venus for me. So, and you can see pop star therapy, $100. $100 is pretty cheap, by the way, for LA therapy. I'm just saying, maybe because it's outside and the chair is outside, so maybe you see it for therapy outside, maybe that's why it's cheaper. So you see like people biking, people go about their life, but here a person probably needs struggling with something in their life, and they need some advice, some guidance, some therapy, some helpful person to go through it, right? So that's for me how I saw the Seven of Wands in this deck. Okay, so Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands. So also Venice, also the beach. There's a nice ground there for skates, and if you guys ever come to LA, if you've been to LA, it's really fun to watch. Scary, honestly, because some kids are skating there, and like it's concrete, and you see like they're not wearing a helmet, and even if they're wearing a helmet, they're doing all the flips, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I mean, my heart is just like, I don't know, if I was a mother, I would like a heart attack. So yeah, but you know, energy movement, 8 of Wands is energy movement, kind of, you know, flips, like a very fast energy movement, right? So here the flip of the board is like super quick, right? So you gotta be on speed, you gotta be present, you gotta be in the flow, you gotta be in the moment, right? So that kind of 8 of Wands for me, like all this energy, exerted creative energy invented in this field, right? So that's on Dennis Beach. That's where I saw this crazy, amazingly talented guys, and unfortunately, my skateboard experience was really bad the first time I tried. It looked so easy. It wasn't. Yeah, so I felt. Yeah, so I'm not good with skateboards, and I'm really impressed by people who do, even by dogs. Like you see those cute dog videos with skateboards. I'm like, oh, even the dog can do it. I can't do it. So yeah, the struggle is real, guys. So some just don't have the talent for it. I don't. Okay, so 9 of Wands, city walk. So 9 of Wands usually means determination, resilience, and I think you know, this gorilla Godzilla is all about determination and resilience, right? Like, I'm gonna climb buildings. I'm gonna do stuff. I'm like, I don't care what people think of me, right? So I'm gonna climb buildings and I'm gonna prove everyone. So this kind of determination, resilience, I'm like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes, right? That gave me this kind of the 9 of Wands vibe, and that's why I chose this image first. So I mean, I guess that's the way it is here. I didn't take this picture, so I think this is in Universal Studios, probably City Walk. That's I haven't been there in a long time, like so many years. Yeah, a long time. Yeah, I gotta go someday. We haven't been there for a while, so I think that's the way it is. That's what reminds me of. But if you guys know where it is and if it's different, just let me know in comments. Okay, 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands. Okay, so you exerted a lot of energy, you try to conquer a lot of buildings as a Godzilla, right? And eventually there's a little time for a burnout, right? And it becomes too much. So you're like climbing buildings, you're doing all the flips on the board, right? You're having so many creative projects or so many creative things, and exerted so much energy that eventually comes to a point where it becomes too much, where it's like, okay, I have to take care of all of this, and there's stuff, and there's money thing, and there's like all this to-do list, right? You see, this guy is basically buried under, you know, those post-it notes, and he's trying to figure out his life because it became all too much. So that's for me kind of, you know, 10 of Wands, where life can become very hectic, and if you have if you're very passionate, if you're very creative, if you have a lot of dreams. And I struggle with it myself. I have so many projects sometimes, and I'm like, it just becomes way too much. So you gotta focus on certain things, and you gotta live your life and do your other stuff, right? So yeah, so I guess for him it's time to finally take a break and prioritize and see what's important and what's not. Okay, Page of Wands. Oh, this is a fun one. So this guy's burned his manuscript, and maybe he wrote a book, maybe he wrote you know, a story, maybe he wrote a script, maybe it's a manuscript. But here he is, he's very energetic, he's very powerful, he's like, I'm gonna write it and then I'm gonna burn it. Why not? You know, that kind of, you know, innocent, kind of teenage energy, you know, one-sided, black and white kind of, right? I didn't like one word, I'm gonna burn the hell out of it, right? So that's for me the Page of Wands. It's like very creative, very impressive, very excited about stuff, but at the same time, you know, it's a lot of black and white thinking mentality, and like, let's burn the thing to the ground, why not, right? Okay, Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is a little bit more mature energy, right? It's all about creation. It's all about creativity, getting there. So you see this guy and he's like filming and he's trying to get the right angle and he's trying to be like all creative and produce something that he's really loving, right? Like he's really creating. He has his vision, he has his way of doing things, and he knows what he's doing, but at the same time he's still learning in some way, right? Because like he looks younger and he looks like you know, he looks cool, but at the same time like it gives out kind of, you know, still youngster energy, not like a king but kind of a knight, right? Still learning his craft, still learning, going through the motions of figuring out what works and what doesn't work. So I think like this is a perfect Knight of Wands for me in like a movie related card. Ooh, Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, it took me some time to find because Queen of Wands, she's like, for me, she's very fiery, she's very opinionated, she's very all over the place, right? She's very impressive, she's very like you see, she's like, here I am, right? So she's very outwards energy, like, you know, coming out and like expressing it, like up in your face, like, you know, like very presence, right? So kind of like, oh, here I am, so what you gonna do about it? So that's I feel like a Queen of Wands. So you see, she's wearing like a very cool cut dress and she's like on one-sided and like very nice pattern. I don't know if it's fashionable or not, like some cool necklace, and she's like all very straight up, and she all knows what she wants, and she's very creative, she's very fiery and probably very passionate person, like she looks like it. So that's for me the Queen of Wands, like that I really liked her for Queen of Wands. So, and she's going down the stairs probably in a very expensive house, and like, you know, just cool, you know. Do people still say cool? Yeah, she's cool. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, and the last one, King of Wands. King of Wands, that kind of, you know, how would I say it? Like, so dating, especially online, that's what you see, like those guys, you know, sitting in a private jet and like, okay, I'm in a private jet, you know, so I'm cool. I have money or whatever it is. Like sometimes some profiles it looks very funny, some cute, some, I don't know, rarely looks impressive, honestly, but this guy looks good. So this guy looks like a King of he's up to the role, right? So he's dressed very nicely, he's very confident, so you might think that he has all this jet, or maybe he flies the jet, right? So King of Wands can be the guy who, you know, who knows how to fly a jet, because he's like very passionate, he's very into his craft, he's very creative, he's more like James Bond kind of, I can shoot, I can fly, I can do whatever it is, right? I'm not sure, like I've never watched James Bond movie, so I'm not sure if he can fly airplane or something, but you know, that kind of gives me energy of King of Wands, you know, that's, you know, cool dude, you know, pretty much every single action movie, so the main character, that's King of Wands. All I can say, like, it's cool, he knows how to shoot, he knows how to ride a bike, he knows how to like drive car backwards, right, or whatever it is, do some tricks, I don't know, survive in unsurvivable situations, be very passionate with women, be really cool. So for me, that's the King of Wands in this deck. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I know, guys, it's been a long video, so if you finished it all, I mean, your dedication is impressive, all I can think. My back, honestly, like, I took a few breaks during this because my back is freaking killing me. And I'm like, finally, I was like, okay, I need to finish it already because I cannot, like, I would just wanna, I don't know, spread on this table, like, that's it. I'm like a jello. So I hope you like it, and I'm gonna link the where you can buy this if you want to buy it, right? I'm gonna link it below in the description of the video, and I hope you've had fun with it. I hope that you enjoyed it the same way I do, because this is like a, you know, I really like it. I really enjoyed making it. I really enjoyed, you know, receiving it recently. I really like. I haven't done any readings on it yet. I decided to do a review, and then I'm gonna do readings. So I'm gonna do readings on it really soon. And you know, guys, if you like it, just you know, if you have any comments, if you have any feedback, let me know. If you want to discuss something, also in the comments below, let me know. I'm really excited to hear all your thoughts and you know, what you think, and if you have this deck, also what you experience with it, how you like to work with it or you don't like to work with it, or even share stuff about Hollywood, or what's your impression, right? And what you like, what you didn't like, or if you live in Hollywood, right? Or if you live in LA or in the LA area, what's your vision of LA, right? So anything you want to talk about it. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in other videos. And now it's very late, and I think it's time for me to finally get my heated back patch and go hermit in my bed. But time for me to hermit a little bit. Do hermiting. Okay, bye.